Now I don't even pick taxi to lectures again. Right now I walk from the Nelson Hall to my lecture halls.
Stephen, a final year biochemistry student at the University of Ghana, shares how a 500 cedi increment in his hostel fees is making life a pain. The Jean Nelson Aka Hall has been his home on campus for 3 years, but the current increase in rent is making his 4th year unbearable, and his parents are beside themselves. According to him, they now have to borrow to augment his expenses.
They didn't actually budget for that. So they used the last semester's hostel fees, and so when the new prices came, it came to them as a surprise, and so they had to look at that where things they are not supposed to do. Maybe they went to borrow because they didn't budget for it, and now borrowing to our interest rate is very high.
As for Stephen, he has had to cut down some expenses, including his taxi rides to school.
Now I don't even pick taxi to lectures again. Right now I walk from the Nelson Hall to my lecture halls.
Texan is also a final year student and has witnessed firsthand the impact of the situation on his roommates. He says some of his mates failed to register for their courses and even get accommodation in the hostels because they couldn't afford it.
And I know most students who have not been able to register for the courses and the hostel fee at all. My room like this, I think during the second week, this is the 3rd week. Then I was only one day. I went to the hostel to check, and 3 of the students had not reported, and mostly because they have not been able to settle their hostel fee. So it has affected many students.
He also attested to the fact that they weren't informed about the new fees in time.
It's been very hectic for some students to even register for their courses, not even to talk of hostel fees, because the increase came unaware. They didn't inform us. Many of us had already informed our parents about the fees that we were supposed to pay for the semester, and we were just there few days to the school resumption. They brought a new fee schedule which was very hasty.
For now, a 2nd year engineering student, she was plunged into a more expensive hostel after she was booted out from the traditional hall as a result of the university's in, out policy. Now she has to pay an extra 3,628 cedis in her new hostel, Pent.
Well, the reason why I chose Pent is because the university brought out a new policy that starting from our badge, they are clearing us from the traditional hall system. So it's either we apply for the UGL hostels, that's the diasporan halls, or private hostels on campus, or probably seek your own accommodation outside. And then being an engineering student, I decided that because the UGL hostels would be through random allocation, there are chances that I wouldn't actually get it because we are left with no accommodation. So I decided to apply for Pent because it's also closer to my faculty.
But the increase in the rent has not necessarily translated into quality services at the hostels. Efia is one of the strong advocates of better accommodation, and she continues to push for better living conditions.
Most of the rooms have not been renovated. Some closets are spots and they have not been fixed, and we have a lot of sports fridges in the rooms, and we've reported, but they are not doing anything about it. Yeah.
So before the price increase, were all these problems still prevalent?
Yeah, the problems were still there before the price increase. And after the price increase, still they didn't do anything about it.
It doesn't look like things will get any better, but the students are hoping that authorities or even government can do something about their situation. Ethan Lyes report for Joy News.